As a lot of you probably know by now, I moved out of my parents' house in October of last year. And while this isn't my first experience with moving, it is my first time living completely on my own, and therefore gave me a lot of first-time experiences. I did intend to make this video a while back, like in November, but I kind of got distracted. Obviously, what else is new? They say that moving out is one of the most stressful things a person can possibly go through, but if you ask me, it all rides on how prepared you are. If you're getting evicted from your home or your parents kicked you out or something like that, then yeah, I can see how getting everything together in X amount of time could be insanely stressful. In my own situation, though, a lot of the stress I endured was kind of self-inflicted. I got the call about an available apartment from my landlady about a week and a half before I actually moved. And this is where I encountered my first bout of self-inflicted stress. I quit my day job and had only been doing YouTube full-time for only a month. I didn't have a very good grasp of whether or not my income on YouTube alone would be enough for me and my 2 cats to live on. Would the landlady even let me move in at this rate, or was I going to be stuck living in my car for the next however long? The landlady was pretty cool with it, though. The apartments I live in are income-based, so they calculate your rent by however much you earn. I was trying to avoid the income-based housing, though, and just get into a regular rental contract. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Originally, I wanted a 2-bedroom apartment so I could have, an office space for where I worked, but since I didn't qualify for that, I settled for a 1-bedroom. When I was talking with the landlady, she told me that I had actually gotten pretty lucky with my timing. The apartment that had opened up was one of only 4 units that had an abundance of space for a 1-bedroom. And there were only 82 units in the complex in total, so I was like, sweet, square footage. My second run-in with self-inflicted stress came a few days before I was scheduled to meet with my landlady and fill out the leasing paperwork. I was told that I had to bring my birth certificate, my social security card, my driver's license, and my 4 most recent pay stubs. And in my head, I was like, no problem. I know where all of those things are. However, when I got home, my birth certificate and my pay stubs had just somehow vanished off of the face of the earth. Instant panic. I started freaking myself out, thinking that because I didn't have those things, the landlady would just toss my application into the shredder and tell me to leave. I called her and I explained the situation, and she was still very chill about it. She told me that I could just bring whatever I had, and so long as I found out everything else before my move-in date, it should be fine. Oh, what a relief. What was even more frustrating was, as soon as I hung up the phone with my landlady, I found my birth certificate in the exact place I remembered keeping it and where I had first originally looked for it. Are you freaking serious right now? It also turns out that the pay stubs from my previous job didn't matter, and I really only needed my YouTube pay stubs, which I could just print out from my Google AdSense account. There, I had my third bout of self-inflicted stress. Well, sort of. My parents' printer, for whatever reason, and despite being brand new, decided to stop working, forcing me to take pictures of my pay stubs with my phone and email them to my landlady. Universe, why do you do this to me? All I want to do is move out on my own and be independent. Is that too much to ask? But when all was said and done, I got the apartment and began my move the 1st of October. I got really lucky in the sense that my parents were willing to help me move in a lot of my stuff, so I didn't have to rent a moving van or hire people to move my stuff for me, or anything like that. I also started packing up most of my things months in advance. On top of that, when I still had my day job at the school I worked at, the teachers would routinely get rid of a lot of furniture and supplies they didn't need. so I made out like a bandit with some of the stuff I managed to get. In total, I got a sofa, a love seat, 2 bookshelves, 2 rolling chairs, and quite a few toiletries, which definitely helped with filling up my unit and making it more livable. My parents also got me a lot of stuff for my kitchen for Christmas and my birthday, which definitely helped me out with cooking and serving my own food. I actually can't stress enough how much planning I tried to put into this move. I spent a few solid weeks towards the end of 2019 looking at apartments that were in the area where I worked at the time, since I wanted to be closer to work originally. While there were a lot of nicer apartments to choose from, they were either too expensive or didn't allow pets. And I wasn't about to rehome my cats for an upscale place to live. Not happening. I also spent several months saving up as much money as possible because I knew I was going to need that extra money for groceries and supplies. Unlike a certain, far more popular YouTuber, I know how to pick out my own groceries. Sad to say that food doesn't magically appear in the fridge or the cupboards, even if you do quadruple check it 500,000 times. Rumor has it, that boy still hasn't figured out how to buy his own groceries. By the time I moved, I had about $3,000 saved up. But that money actually went fairly quickly. You don't really realize how many things in your home that just naturally seem to belong there are things that are actually not included with a brand new apartment, and you're forced to go out and buy it. Things like shower curtains, microwaves, coat hangers that go on doors, everyday things that we're all just sort of used to being there when we need them. I'm just glad my parents helped me out with some of this stuff because otherwise things would have been a lot less organized. Apart from receiving some supplies from my parents and having them help me move in my furniture, I did almost everything by myself. I picked out the complex by myself, I filled out the application by myself, I met with the landlady by myself, and I filled out all the leasing paperwork by myself too. So it was such a satisfying feeling to receive the keys to my place and finally see what all this hard work got me. I wanted to use this video as a way of preparing other people for when they're getting ready to move out. I see a lot of YouTubers talk about their experiences with moving out, but they sort of neglect to tell about what all they needed to do to get to that point. They can mainly be summed up with, "Yeah, independence, but now I got bills and responsibilities." There's a lot I wish someone would have told me ahead of time before I had moved. That way I could have been way more prepared and less stressed. And it's all something a lot of us will have to do at some point. So why not spread the knowledge? First off, have your paperwork in order. Don't be like me on the verge of an anxiety attack because you're missing half of your paperwork. Bare minimum, have your birth certificate, your driver's license, your social security card, and your 4 most recent pay stubs in a folder so you have it all with you before you even walk into your potential landlord or landlady's office. If you're not working for health reasons, have someone or something that can prove that there's an income of some sort that will ensure you will be able to pay your rent and your bills. You're gonna need that. Second, make a list of things you may possibly need for when you move in. This includes food, toiletries, cleaning supplies, kitchen utensils, small appliances, and a wide variety of other stuff. I swear the first things I put into my apartment were toilet paper and a large trash bin, just to make life a little bit easier. Trust me, a list helps. That way you know what to get when you go shopping. Thirdly, have a bit of extra money in the bank way beforehand. When you get an apartment, at least, you're going to have to pay a deposit, first month's rent, and pay a few fees just to get you started. Rent where I live is around $675 per month, but I probably paid around $1,200 by the time I got the keys to my unit. I managed to save up $3,000 though, so I didn't completely fuck myself over by just keeping the bare minimum in my account. Don't just have the mentality of, oh, I'll get things little by little. Please don't fuck yourself over like that. At least have around 500 extra just in case you need it. You'll be surprised how much it helps. And lastly, don't wait until the last minute to do things like packing. Any head start you can give yourself will come in handy. Box stuff up you know you aren't going to be using for quite some time, or just things that are non-essential. Trust me, you'll thank me later for this. On another note, being able to make yourself food is nice, and in light of some people not knowing how to grocery shop, and me being someone that actually likes shopping for groceries, let me give you a basic grocery list to help you out. Seriously though, someone send this video to SomethingElseYT so he doesn't have to survive on Chucky milk and takeout. There are some essential staples that I recommend should be on everyone's grocery list. Milk, eggs, butter, bread, salt, pepper, and cheese. I also recommend vegetable or canola oil for if and when you choose to cook on the stove. Also, ramen, the poor man's meal, the starving artist's lifesaver. Ramen. Get yourself a 12-pack of that stuff if you can find it. Some other foods you can guarantee you'll find on my grocery list include cereal, pasta, meat, rice, beef or chicken broth, canned goods like tuna, corn, and beans, fresh produce like bananas, apples, raspberries, broccoli, spinach, or lettuce, and cauliflower. Stuff to make sandwiches like mayo, mustard, peanut butter, Nutella, bologna, and salami. Some snacks like pretzels, chips, cookies, stuff like that. Also, essential for a coffee junkie like myself, coffee, creamer, sugar, and sweetener. Obviously, this is just me, but if you have diet restrictions, then obviously tailor this to your own diet. The stuff that's in green text are things that can actually be inexpensive if you know where to look. And keep an eye out for the weekly catalog that'll tell you which foods are on sale so you can save the monies. All in all, living on my own is actually pretty fun. I can eat a bowl of cereal at 3 a.m. and no one's there to tell me no. There might be some less fun aspects like doing all your own dishes and laundry, cleaning, trying to keep things somewhat organized. But honestly, living on my own has allowed me to spread out and do things my own way, and I don't have to worry about anyone else's approval. And I have proven to myself and other people that I'm capable of doing things on my own and be a somewhat functioning adult. And honestly, it's a good feeling that I hope everyone gets a chance to feel, because it really is an awesome feeling. That'll be all for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. In all honesty, though, I've moved like 3 times since 2017. It's ridiculous, so I'm hoping I can stay where I'm at for a while. At least a few years so I don't have to worry about it. But if America starts going to shit any more than it already has, I'm going to Germany and I ain't coming back. My name is Blue Raven 666, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!